Hello everybody, welcome to section 4.8, composition of functions. I'm going to recap this briefly for you. A few students were absent today, and I just know that this is one of the more confusing topics of the chapter. So what I'm going to do here, this is an example from the textbook on page 240. So if you'd like to look at these problems in your book, they're on page 240. This is problem number 1. This will be very similar to your green worksheet number 2 for tonight. Problem number 2 on this tutorial will be very similar to problem number 1 from the green worksheet. So they're kind of backwards in that way. But 1 is pretty basic. Given the functions f of x and a g of x, find f of 4. We're going to call f of x the blue function, and we're going to call g of x the red function. Remember that the blue function f of x, basically its job is to take whatever the input is. Here the input would be 4. It takes this input and you plug it in for x. It's going to take 4 plus 5, that'll be 9, take its square root, that'll be 3, and add 3. So when they ask you to do f of 4, you're simply taking the function machine, which is to take 3 plus the square root of whatever x is plus 5, and replace that x with 4. So my final answer here would be f of 4 equals 3 plus the square root of 9. F of 4 would be 6. B, f of g of 4. So we're still taking the blue function as our outer shell. F of blank equals 3 plus the square root of blank plus 5. That's f of x. If I wanted you to find f of 3, you'd put a 3 here and here, and you would calculate it. If I wanted you to find f of 11, you would put an 11 in, and you would do the square root of 11 plus 5, which is 4, and add 3, and you would get 7. They're not asking you to find f of a number. They're asking you to find f of g of 4. So we need to calculate what g of 4 is first, get an answer, and then plug that in. In class today, I called this the backfill method. You work from the 4 backwards. You find g of 4 first. So plug 4 in for x in g's equation, this one. Let's do that in our head. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. What do you know? There's that 11 I just mentioned. That 11 is only a temporary answer. It now becomes our input that you put into f's equation. So g of 4 is 11. We now need to calculate f of 11. Okay, f of 11 would be 3 plus the square root of 16. So f of 11 would be 7. 3 plus 4. So those are the basics of finding f of g of x, f of g of a number. In the next set of problems, number 2, ABC, they give you g and f defined as a set of points. Instead of telling you what the function is, they tell you that in f, which again will be the blue list of numbers, in f, when the input is 0, the output is negative 2. When the input x is 4, the output y is 1, and so on. They give you a list of inputs and outputs. They give you the same for the g equation in red. So when they ask you to find g of f of 4, we're going to work backwards and look up 4 in f's equation first. So you look up 4 as the input. Here it is. When the input is 4 in f, the output is 1. That blue output number becomes our new red input number. We now need g of 1. So you look up in g's equation where x is 1, What's y? 2. So my final answer would be 2. In B, we're going to put g of negative 2, find negative 2 in the list of g inputs. Here it is, negative 2. When the input is negative 2, the output is 4. That is only a temporary output. That becomes your new input in the F list. So look up 4 on the F list. We have it right here. When the input is 4, the output is 1. Final answer. Part C has you bouncing back and forth 3 times. Start with blue, and you take 3 and look it up in the F list. When x is 3, y is 5. That 5 becomes your new input in G's equation. When 5 is the input in the G list, look at the red list, the output is 5. So that's our new output. But we're not done, because that output still has to be worked into F's function. So F of 3, G of 5, F of 5. So when you look at the F list, when the input is 5, the output is 0. So your final answer here would be 0. That's a brief recap of F of G of X. We can talk more about this concept in class tomorrow. Please come prepared with questions or post them to the blog, the discussion tab within this wiki.